To weaken any woman, you need to be this kind of a man. Every woman have weakness for a man who she knows that is very, very confident. If you're a very, very confident man, you are a woman's weakness. So a woman knows when not to raise her voice. She knows when not to talk to you anyhow. She knows when not to take you for granted. Because she knows you are too confident in yourself that you know what you want. You know what you don't want. You're always saying the things you want. You want to talk to her, you're looking into her eyes to tell her you're not really scared of her. Many guys who women take for granted are guys they perceived that are not confident. Any woman who feels you're too confident for her feels she doesn't deserve you. So she will want to work for that relationship. So if she's working for that relationship, she doesn't want to lose you. A confident man is every woman's weakness. This is number one thing you should have as a man. Hit your chest. Know what you want. Go for what you want. Call her out when she's doing that. Be confident in speaking, saying your mind. Do not allow people tell you what to do before you do it. Or always think about people, what they would think. If they feel that thing you're doing will not be okay, you will let it go. If you do like that, you're not really confident in what you want, in yourself, and no woman will really feel that weakness or will feel she really deserves to be with you or she deserves you. Another weakness of a woman is when you are a man who knows how to say no. Learn to say no. Everything can never be yes. If you're a man who knows when to say no, who know how to say no to a woman, you are her weakness. A woman loves it when you always know how to stand up for yourself. You know how to tell her that no, I won't do this. No, I won't do that. I can't do it. You know I will not do it and I will not do it. She knows you know yourself very well that you can't take it. So that woman will think it twice to disrespect you. Many a times when a woman becomes disrespectful, is because you don't know how to say no. A woman's weakness is when you know how to tell her to her face that you're not going to do something because it is not favorable to you. It can't work for you, and you know it can't work for you. You tell her you can't do it. But if she knows the things that cannot work for you, things that you cannot take, but she will want to test you to see if you can take it. If you took it for some reason, because you really want her to stay with you, because you really want her in your life, if you take it, it means that woman is never going to value you. She can never feel weak with you. So it makes her to really have power over you in that relationship. But once you always know how to tell her no, you've won her. You are now her weakness. She can't understand you. She can't really predict you. She knows she can't say, oh, this thing, if I ask him to do it, he's going to do it. So you become unpredictable. Women love you when you are unpredictable than when you are predictable. So they don't want to be with a predictable man because there is nothing that will make them weak with that man. So the more weak they are with you, the more in love they will be with you. 3, a man who is the leader. Anytime you know how to lead, anytime you know how to tell the woman, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is how I want you to do it, that woman will always look up to you. You become her weakness. You become the man she will always her go-to for answer or anything she wants to do. She will want to share. She will want to tell you because she knows you always have good advice to give to her. But if she can't look up to you, there is never a day she will want to share. She don't want to tell you anything. She want to keep to herself. She want to keep everything to herself. She doesn't want to tell you. She doesn't want to involve you into her life. So you are a woman's weakness if you are a leader. She will always want to test you to see if she can take away that leadership from you. But whenever you always win her to her test, you always defeat her in her test, you always come up strong, that woman, you become her weakness. That woman will always want to respect. She will always want to stay with you. One thing you understand is women don't like it when you're too good, when you're too nice, especially you're too nice that you cannot tell them to their faces what they are doing that you don't like. You cannot say no to them. You will always want to take in everything. She will never ever accept you. She will never want you. She will never feel that weakness. She will never feel that she's weak for you. So, and if she feels that weakness, that makes her very vulnerable. She wants you. She wants to stay with you. Another thing that makes you a woman, that makes a woman very weak, is when you ignore her. Learn to ignore women. If you are the kind of man who have few words, you are a man of few words. I can't over exaggerate how weak your woman will feel. A woman cannot tell us that, oh, this guy, I can make him do this thing and he's doing it. When she feels she cannot make you do the thing she wants you to do, you'll be very difficult to manipulate. She cannot manipulate you. Because most times you say things you're not supposed to say. At the end of the day, you're giving that woman a clue of who you are. You're no longer predictable. You're no longer unpredictable. You become very predictable. So if you're predictable, she knows how to pimp you, to touch your move button, and get you to react the way she wants you to react. But if you're a man of few words, you know when to ignore her. It's not everything. In fact, if you're a man of few words, you know that you're not even supposed to argue with her to begin with. As the chairman, as the king, as the leader, have you ever seen the king going to the marketplace to argue with the women selling in the market? He gives orders. The women obey. Everyone around him obey. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't argue. So if you're a man of few words, you become her king. She will become your subordinate. She will listen to you. Anything you ask her to do, watch her do it. Then the fourth thing that makes a woman very weak in a relationship is if you don't act very emotional. If you are a man who is not too emotional and you're stable, it makes a woman very, very weak. When a woman knows that you are an emotional man, know with that she knows things that can really hurt you, that can pain you. Most times you start crying, you start sobbing, you start reporting, you start acting like a woman. A woman doesn't want it. She will never feel weak. It is not a weakness to her. A man who makes a woman weak is a man who is not too emotional and who is always stable. You know the things. If she does something, you know how to tell her, this thing, I don't want it, even though her aim is to make you weak, is to make you emotional, but you will prove to her that those things can never make you weak, can never make you emotional. You rather stand up to her and tell her that instead of me to feel weak through your action, it's best I let go of you. Nobody will ever stress me. Nobody will make me feel uncomfortable. Nobody will make me do the things I'm not supposed to do. I can't report it to anybody. I will always take action. What I know that is not good for me. If you are the type of man who always report a woman, you want to tell everybody the bad thing she's doing to you, you are too emotional and you are not stable. You can never make that woman weak. She can never feel weak with you. But what makes her weak is your ability not to be too emotional and your ability to be stable. You will always win her. Even before she tests you, she knows you're never going to lose that test. So she knows. So you are her weakness. She will be very careful with you. She knows when not to pass her boundary. She knows when to respect. She knows when to obey. She knows when to listen. She will involve you in everything that concerns her without you even telling her, because she knows she cannot predict you. You're not too emotional and you're stable in your actions, your words, and the things you do. This is Spell Solution. The goal is for you to stay in a healthy relationship and a healthy marriage.